also, I believe they didn't even use the video evidence.
So it was just word versus word?
Right, and it's funny because there isn't a word because the dude who, I believe the dude who got beat up and the other dude who was with them aren't even there. They can't even find them.
What the fuck then?
So, like, again.
So they use the video to charge him, but then they can't use the video to exonerate him.
Right. So basically, and then it's funny because, like I said, they're not using the video to exonerate him, but also apparently he was the reason he got caught, which is going back to social media and clout chasing and shit like that, is because people ended up posting that video. That's the only way they knew what happened. If no one would have posted the video, he would still be out today because they would have never found out. Yeah. But because someone posted the video, they basically knew that he was in their country, and then they
found him.
Yeah, they were gonna go get him. Yeah. And they somehow got in touch with his people, and they basically said, like, we can come get you, or you can just come to us. But the way they stated it was they were just gonna talk or whatever. But of course he's not out. So because they were there for a festival, ASAP did the show, and then he went after the show to talk to them, and then he got arrested. So
it was funny in the video too. At one point in the video, he like on camera, straight to the camera, was like let it be known, like, we're trying to walk away. These people keep following us. Right. And then what happens?
So it goes back to what I was saying about, like, overseas and stuff, right? Yeah. So since I was like 15, 16, I started really understanding the world. I was like, the one thing that I'm terrified of, and I'm not terrified of much in my life, but the one thing I'm terrified of is other countries, all right? I personally, and I know this, like I said, this might be unpopular, but I don't see why any black person, black people decide to go overseas. From America. I do not get it. I don't get it whatsoever, because if you think American racism is, like, shitty and you want to throw your little tweets and hashtags out there, and you want to be like a little weekend activist or whatever, try that shit in these other countries. They don't give a fuck, all right? And they don't care about your rights. They don't care what you are. They don't care, you have this much money. They don't give a shit, all right? And I never understand that these prominent black people continue to go to these places, and when they get jammed up, it's like a cry for help. And I'm like, stop going to these places, because they clearly don't fuck with you, right? And I'm not saying every place, right? Because, well...
Or is it like just do your event and then leave? Basically make your money and then go?
Pretty much. That's how I would do it. Because I'm like, I mean, we've seen it as recent, I believe that Chris Brown incident, he was overseas. Was he in Paris?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think he was in Paris, and he got accused of rape. And he got arrested with no proof. And then he basically had to prove via, messages and all this other stuff, and I believe I forgot how he ended up getting out of it. I want to say it was messages and like something with like his cell phone or something and everything like that like he didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why would you even take your dumb ass down there and even fuck with anything that has to go on besides getting money and leaving, right? Same situation happened to Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is one of my favorite rappers. Freddie Gibbs, I think, spent almost a year in prison in some country, again, being accused of rape. And almost got convicted.
Spent a year?
I believe so. I'm going to double check it. But he was in jail for a while. Like,
based on an accusation?
Based on an accusation. He was in jail for a while. Like I said, I could be wrong on a year, but I know he was in jail for more than like 3 months. He was down there. The list goes on. And I never understand why these black people continue to go down to these places. And I get it. When a festival offers you a bag to go do a show, yeah, you're going to do that. And I get it too. Like, I understand, you're in a free, you feel like you're free, and I'm not bothering nobody. I want to see the world. See the world. I understand that, In my opinion, I feel like that is stupid. That is stupid because at the end of the day, these places have made it clear that they do not follow anything in the West. They don't give a shit about what's going on, with our politics and everything. They don't give a shit about how we feel and our social standings and shit. Like, they don't care. Like, you still are what you are out here, period. Right? And my whole thing, my biggest fear is going out there, and I've said this to my fiance, and I've been very clear with this. I'm like, I'm cool with traveling and stuff like that, right? But I'm like, I don't know if I can go overseas, and I
You'd
don't
have to stay in the touristy.
Yeah, and I don't know when I'll be comfortable because I'm like, I know how I am. I know how I am. Period. Right, and I know that if someone pushes a button, I'm gonna react how I'm gonna react. But I also know that me reacting a certain type of way here and me reacting that way over there can lead me into being over there for a good long while.
Yeah.
And I'm not ASAP Rocky. I'm not Chris Brown. Ain't nobody getting my black ass out. I'm just gonna sit there.
No options.
There is no options for me. Like, you know what I mean? And like, that's why I never understand it,
Also, overseas, they really don't like Americans.
They don't.
Like, just pure, like, Americans.
They don't. And then there's been stories of people who target Americans and want to get them in trouble or want to fuck with them and everything like that. So I'm like, you being American is one, but then you being black, I feel like you're just putting a huge target on yourself. Why? Like, to me, what is the purpose of it? And like I said, I understand. Get your money, go do your show and everything. But if it was me, hopefully one day it will be us, with tours and stuff like that. Look, when's the show? Oh, this is when the show is? Okay, cool. I'm staying in the hotel until the show. And then we're being driven wherever we have to go. And then we're doing the show and I'm going back to the hotel. Mark can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I will not follow him. All right? Not me. Oh, no. Because you can't arrest me from my hotel room. Hopefully you can't. Hopefully you can't, because ain't no girls gonna be around. Nope, nobody. Not for me. Like, so, not doing none of that, man. Like, I don't care. Like, and I get it, Like I said, you want to feel like you work that hard to be able to see the world so you can be cultured and understand how stuff is. But then I think there's a real danger when you decide to be, and it is what it is, when you have money and you are of our race, you being that out in places where you're not looked at as anything is not a smart idea, in my opinion. It's just not, and I feel like there's just too many instances of people, who knows how many people don't come home from going to these trips and shit, you know what I mean? Like, and I just feel like, to me, it's not worth it. Do you think it's worth it?
The way you're painting the picture, no. But I'm not black.
So I can do this.
Yeah, like, that's kind
Sweden,
of...
here Mark comes.
Yeah. Like, I just... Beyond just that, it's what you're saying. Like, I want to see the fucking world. And I want to, like, because I work so hard, like, I want to be seen as just a person.
Right. Traveling
and, like, exploring other cultures, which... I don't get how people could be mad at that. You know what I mean? Like, why cause problems? Because the only thing is just like, if it is just pure racism, that's one thing. But if these people know who you are, and they know because you're black, I could start the problem. I could fucking throw the first punch. Mm-hmm. But even if you defend yourself, you're probably still getting in trouble. I'm still probably getting a settlement.
Yep.
So there's those two things. It's like, it's racism, and then also people trying to get money out of you because they know they could win, because they know they're starting at a higher advantage than you.
Yeah, like I said, if we like to joke around and don't like clout chasing and stuff in America, right? It's the same thing over there, but the only difference is the odds of you actually coming out the victor are so low that it's not worth it, which is why a lot of people have taken, deals over when they get locked up in those places where it's like, we know you didn't do nothing.
Yeah, but you gotta confess.
But you gotta plead to something to leave. Because basically, it's like anything else. Once you leave, they're not gonna come get you.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Once you're back in America, okay, whatever. It's like you could have to pay whatever you have to pay in that country, but if you're not coming back, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then here's the thing too, like they make you plead to something because they know they don't have anything, and it's an embarrassment to have it like written in their books that like,
right.
yeah, we lost and we
right.
let them go. So as long as like you plead to something, you plead, okay, I did this, they can mark it as a win, and then like, yeah, Sweden doesn't tolerate this.
We don't look stupid. We don't look racist. Even
but
racist.
I'm not just targeting Sweden. I'm targeting like that's everywhere.
Yeah,
that's how fucking the system works.
It's a lot of places overseas, and I get that we have a lot of overseas fans, which is very cool. Shout out to you guys. But we have a lot
Staying with y'all.
we have a lot of overseas fans. And I want you guys to be honest. Be honest in the comment section or whatever. Let us know, because I like. Of course, there's places where I feel like this isn't that big of an issue. I feel like one of those places would be like a London, because I believe ASAP he used to always talk about London, how much he loves London because London reminded him so much of Harlem and things like that, right?
That's for Jimi Hendrix, I think.
And I'm like, I know there's a lot of
popped up.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of black people who are in London and things like that, which is London's fine or whatever, right? I'm talking about when you try to venture off into these places where it's like, that, come on, man. Like, ain't no black people in Sweden. Like, and if it is, it's a very tiny, tiny, tiny small bit. So it's like, why do you feel like you're going to, like, I feel like one thing that happens is, like, these entertainers, they go over there and they don't have any, like, sort of wherewithal to be like, okay, let's just do what we got to do. And then, keep it pushing. I feel like they try to act the same way they would act over here. And it's like, going back to the Vegas incident with me, I'm still not going to reveal that yet. But I will say, one of the things I was told after the situation, I was told by the head of security at Caesar's Palace. He told me, he was like, what you did here is a felony. I don't know where you from. I told him where I was from. He was like, okay, well, in Long Beach, that can be whatever that can be. Out here, that's a felony. And he was like, and he was being very blunt with me. He's like, let me be honest. He was like, you black too? He was like, you're not getting out of that out here. So that was something that I took. I'm like, damn, this is Vegas. This is 4 or 5 hours away from driving. 4 or 5 hours away from, my city. And he's telling me like, yeah, nah, like, don't do that around here. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine damn near halfway across the world. Like, do you really think it's going to be any better for you? And I just don't get that. I feel like you got to walk around with that caution. And I understand his situation. They were trying to avoid it as much as they could. But if that was me in that situation, I just kept walking. He would have walked all the way to basically this hotel and then like, all right, see you, man. I'm not gonna mess with you. Unless like if he would have swung on me or whatever. All right, now I'm gonna give you those paws. All right, and like I said, hopefully since it's on camera and everything. Well, that's another thing. We don't do cameras, so I'm not gonna film nothing and post nothing. Yeah. Like, so I'm definitely not gonna do that. So that's not gonna get me in trouble. But whatever. I don't know if anyone in that camp did, but that footage came from somebody. And I feel like it's somebody in that camp. Yeah. So you kind of reaping what you sow with that shit, because you shouldn't have done that. But, still, yeah, he was in the right. And, yeah, that dude was harassing him, and it went the way it went. But at the end of the day, there has to be, like, in my opinion, we need to start taking serious precautions and, like, measures when it comes to, I'm speaking for black people who are entertainers. Oh, black people, period, actually. When it comes to going overseas, you got to start taking fucking precaution and being like, okay, maybe I shouldn't get super drunk out here, because they not fucking with me out here.
Right, because in America it's one thing, because like you're known, it's a melting pot over here. Over there you don't know like the little customs. You don't know how the laws work. You don't know shit like how is it that they could arrest them on that, but they can't use it as evidence to be like, no, like these guys are starting it.
First of all, when you learn about the justice system, that's like one of the biggest things you can learn as a black person, and most people, or as a minority, period, right? Most people learn it the hard way, which is they do some shit and then it forces them to learn it. Some people are smart and they are preemptive and they just learn it, right? So one thing that a lot of people learn about the justice system is there is nothing that really helps you to get you out, right? Once you're in it, you're in it. That's why they always talk about the system. That's what they mean by the system. Once you're in the system, pretty much they can do whatever they want to do to you, and they can keep you as long as they want to keep you. You can do a whole bunch of shit, right? The main
these rules that they have, they don't have to follow.
They don't have to follow.
That's for you to follow. That's for you, not for them to follow.
Right. So the one thing that you do have on your side when it comes to the justice system is this is for America. I don't know Sweden. I don't know Austria. I don't know all these other places. Right. When you do in America, what you do have is you still have the benefit of doubt, right? So they still have to prove that you are guilty, which is that comes to the whole thing of like if they can't prove it, then 9 times out of 10 you can walk, right? Because they have to prove it. But if you put yourself in a situation where basically they've proved it because you're on camera throwing this motherfucker, right? I get it. In America, that's like, okay, he was harassing you. We're just gonna call it a day or whatever.
It's a wash or whatever.
It's a wash. Over there, look, they can do whatever they want to do with that. You know what I mean? And they could completely stricken that whole first half of him harassing y'all and walking and bumping y'all and throwing stuff at y'all. Yeah. They can just look at, well, okay, he did that, but this dude punched him. This dude pushed him. This dude threw him. So this dude's going in.
Yeah, it's like some kind of they could do whatever they want because it's their laws and you don't know them.
Yeah, not to mention, I believe in that country. They look at like bouncers and security as like actual like public officials, like police.
Really?
So you can't touch them. Like out here, you can smack shit out of a bouncer. What? Look.
I mean, you can, but
not
advised.
They don't because something probably gonna happen to you. But but you can
slap bouncers at your own risk, people.
Some of them you can. They not. Whatever. It's another thing.